Welcome back to Clydesdale Media, where we bring you the best from the world of CrossFit. Podcasts, news, special interest, health, fitness. If you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button, hit the notifier so you're the first to know when we have new episodes. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Clydesdale Media Podcast, and we are doing our 2023 CrossFit Games season series. Today, we have Tracy Johnson with us. Tracy, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. So, Tracy, this is how it's going to work. We're going to meet once a week between now, and we're going to follow you all the way through the CrossFit season, however far you go. Hopefully, we're talking still in July. You never know. But assuming that's the goal for this year for you, we're going to dig into a little bit of your backstory, get to know you a little bit, and then everyone will be rooting for you throughout the whole season. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. Okay. So let's start off with you did 23.1, correct?
Yep.
No, you're not redoing it?
Not planning on it.
Okay. Awesome. So we met you and your teammates at the Green Beret Project Classic just a couple of weeks ago. You train out of CrossFit Explode, yes. Which is it in Westchester, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Westchester, PA.
Okay. And for those of you that don't know, I'm in Delaware, so we're pretty close. I'm going to try to get up there and see you guys. Can you give us a little bit of sort of the elevator version of your CrossFit origin story? How did you find CrossFit and where you are now?
Yeah, so how I found CrossFit. So I grew up doing gymnastics, so I have a gymnastics background. And then I did like a year club in college and kind of got into a little bit of just working out. Like I started teaching some cycling classes at my rec center. And then once COVID hit, we were in lockdown. And then that July, a local gym was doing like an athletes class that one of my friends invited me to go to. She's like, I think you really like it. You should come try it out.
Where was school?
Westchester. So I went to Westchester.
At Westchester University. Okay.
Yeah. So still here. And she was like, I think you really like it. So I hopped in and I kind of bit the CrossFit bug and stuck with it. So I wasn't at an affiliate for a little bit. And then that gym closed. And then I moved over to CrossFit Explode.
Okay.
In the end of 21.
So what year did you start CrossFit then?
2020. So like July of 2020 was probably about.
Oh, so you're like really sort of a CrossFit baby when it comes to like training age.
Yeah.
In terms of CrossFit.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Okay. Gymnastics, did you do gymnastics at Westchester?
Just a year of club gymnastics. So I didn't compete collegiately at all.
You weren't there when Majesta was there, right? Do you know Majesta?
I do know Majesta. She was at Green Beret as well. And I think she's a couple years older than me.
Yeah, I think so too. But, that's interesting. And so what level of gymnastics were you when you were doing it?
Level 9. So I was pretty close to
the pinnacle,
probably
right?
Immediately.
Did you have aspirations to go to the Olympics? Like, was that sort of your dream? Did you realize at some point in time that you just kind of wanted it to be? How's that transition between like high school into college and like, where am I at? And what am I going to do?
Yeah. So I actually kind of started competing gymnastics kind of older, like because I did like soccer for a long time and cheerleading. And then I was like, kind of like, all I like is the stunting and the tumbling. So I think gymnastics is the way to go. I didn't think I'd ever really make it Olympically. My goal was kind of just to compete at Westchester. Since my mom was faculty here, I was kind of set on going to Westchester in that sense. So I wanted to compete collegiately, and then it just didn't work out, unfortunately. But I kind of think that happened for a reason.
Sure.
Made me enjoy college a little bit more, and then it kind of made me find CrossFit. I probably may not have found CrossFit if I was doing gymnastics competitively.
Right. You got to go through that to sort of get to where you are now.
Exactly.
Back to cheer. So I'm a retired cheer mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You were a flyer, I take it?
Yes, I was.
You were stunting and tumbling. Where did where were you training out of?
So I used to live in State College. I grew up in State College, Pennsylvania, Penn State area. And I did a little bit with my like middle school. And then there was Nittany had a team.
Okay.
Gymnastics had a cheer team as well.
So you didn't you weren't in the all-star cheerleading?
One season, and then it was gymnastics from there.
Got it. Okay. Good for you. Yeah, my daughter quit right before middle school. She was like, I want to do sports, and it was too hard to kind of do both. It's interesting. It's a fun little gig while it lasts.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, you started when you first started official CrossFit. It was at Explode.
I guess, yeah, technically. I
Yeah.
did the Open in 2021 at TrainRx, which was like not an affiliate at the time, but it's actually really funny because it's literally in like the front yard of Explode. They're quite literally like next to each other in the same complex.
And so when you started there, you knew right away. Did you have a coach right away? Like, when did you realize, like, I could maybe be good at this?
The guy who owned the gym, the non-affiliate gym, he was very much like, I think you could be really good at this. And he kind of got me started on doing like CrossFit Mayhem programming for a little bit.
Okay.
And then they were like, oh, we're going to close the gym in like October of 21. And I hadn't been there that long. So I just kind of stayed there for a little bit. And then a bunch of people went over to Explode after they decided to close down.
Okay. And what are your aspirations for the 2023 season?
So as of right now, my plan is to go team.
Okay.
Explode is going to make a team again. I ended up going team kind of last minute last year. We threw it together very last minute. It wasn't super planned at all. So this year we kind of have a plan set in place.
How far did the team get last year?
We ended up going to semis. We went to Atlas Games last year.
Oh, okay. Oh, were you on the team with Elena?
No, so Elena's went with CrossFit Raid.
Got it. Okay.
Elena, actually, we like invited her to do Green Beret with us very last minute because our other teammate, Rachel, she was going to do Green Beret with us, but then she had a wedding to go to. So we recruited Elena and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, good. I was glad to hear that that it was a wedding and not an injury, because usually it's my partner got hurt, I need a fill-in.
Yeah.
So that's good. Okay. So all right. So you went to Atlas Games. How did you guys fare compared to CrossFit Raid at Atlas Games?
We were doing pretty well. We had fun. It was definitely a series of events leading up into there. We had a week before we left, one of our teammates, he got injured. So we had to have we had our alternate step in very last minute. He wasn't expecting it at all. And then unfortunately during Atlas Games, he dislocated his elbow. So we had to actually withdraw after the fourth event. So we didn't get to finish out the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was that was clearly your first time doing anything sort of on that grand scale. What was that like for you?
It was a little intimidating. I'm not going to lie. It was a very cool experience to be down there on the floor with some really, really good athletes and kind of showcase what we've put.
We love animals.
What we put into like the training that we put in, and just it was so fun just getting to know like my team a little bit better and hanging out with them. And I never really thought prior to that I would ever really go team. And then I kind of got like thrown into it. And I really enjoyed the team aspect for sure.
Yeah. So what about that versus individual? Because in gymnastics, it's really, you're on a team, but it's really dependent on your own individual performance. What are some of the differences that you sort of enjoy about team versus indie?
Yeah. I think team, I like the camaraderie aspect and just knowing that like you guys lift each other up and you guys are only going to do as well together. Individually, I think you can kind of put yourself into a place where you can just go, but sometimes on a team, you have to work together to get through what's going on. Whether like if someone has like a big weakness, sometimes you have to pick each other up there. And I really just like that like aspect of bringing yourselves together and pushing through regardless of what it is. And also the fact that like one person has a weakness, the other person might be a strength, and that allows you guys to do really, really well.
Right. I like the rest.
That too.
That's what I like about partner team stuff is you get to rest. You're not working the entire time. Most of the time you're not. That's funny. So who do you guys, I guess I'm not sure how it works. So do you guys have a team? You have to declare a team now, right? Like the members of your team before you start the open?
So you can have like for the open, I guess you can have anybody from the gym
like a team roster
sign up on the team roster, and then those scores will count towards the team for quarterfinals to qualify. So
that being said, is the foursome TBD, or do you guys have a pretty good idea?
We have a pretty good idea. There's like 2 guys that potentially could be the 4th guy, and then we're trying to figure out who wants to do it. So,
Okay. Is it drama?
maybe a little bit. I
Yeah.
try to steer clear of the drama, but they'll work it
Sure.
out. And
Yeah. Well, I
whatever's
mean,
meant to
it's
be.
going to push both of them, right? I would imagine.
Definitely. I think it's going to come down to they might both do individual quarterfinals, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know.
And is it that's the point where you guys will go through the open and quarters as individuals, and then obviously get together for semis?
Yeah, that's probably how we're going to map it
And
out.
presumably you guys will be at the Orlando semifinal then, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the goal.
It's kind of good to know too, isn't it? Does it feel better knowing that, like, at least you know the date, you know the location?
Yes.
You're not sort of waiting around to figure out where you're going to get put.
Yeah, it definitely helps knowing where you're going to be and when, because if, working full time and stuff too, also like knowing when I might have to take time off and stuff like that
Yeah.
is really helpful.
So remind us, how old are you, Tracy?
23.
23. And what do you do for work?
I'm a full-time nurse, so I work for the
Oh,
public health department here in Westchester, so Chester County Health Department.
okay.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Westchester has a really good nursing program.
Yeah,
What I've
they
heard.
do.
Yeah. That and education, right? Are they sort of known for education?
Yeah, they
My
started
daughter,
at teachers college.
my daughter's a senior in high school, and she's looking into Westchester as one of her options.
Yeah, great school.
So, yeah, very cool. And it's, selfishly, it's close to home, so I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad about that at all. Okay, so let's dive into, I want you to take us through sort of your experience this last 4 or 5 days with regard to 23.1. So first, where were you during the announcement and what were you doing?
I was working. I was just doing
Okay.
some like paperwork, and I opened up the announcement and wanted to know what it was. And
Did you watch it all, or did you just sort of wait until like 3:15 and just look at the workout? Or was your phone blowing up the whole time? Because I'm sure all your friends were telling you what it was.
I went on at 3, heard them say the announcement, but I didn't really get to watch much of the live stream
Okay.
at all. But I was hearing what the workout was, and then I was like, I'll go back and watch it later.
Yeah. So what was your initial response to hearing what the workout was? Clearly you didn't do it in 2014, so you didn't have like any feelings about it really, that were reminiscent of an actual memory of doing it, right?
Yeah.
How about the movements for you going into it? What did you think about them?
I was super excited for this workout. It's actually funny because I was following Mayhem like a couple weeks ago, and this workout came up. I didn't actually do it at the time.
It was like a week ago. It was the day before Green Beret, right?
I think so, yeah. So
Yeah.
I didn't do it. Or maybe it might have been a week before, but they programmed it, and I watched one of my friends do it. And I was like, oh, that looks a little rough, but it looked like it would be a lot of fun to try one time. So I'm actually happy that it came up.
Okay. Let's take the movements just one by one. Aside from you doing the workout, rowing, good for you typically?
Yes. Rowing, great for me.
Okay. Are you tall?
No. No.
You're not. How tall are you?
About 5'4".
Okay. Yeah. Average.
Yeah.
How about wall balls? Do you like them? Hate them?
I like wall balls. Yeah. I like anything kind of like grindy, just like put your head down and work sort of deal.
And 14 pounds, no big deal, right?
No big deal.
Okay. Toes bar. You're a gymnast.
Gymnast. Totally
Easy.
good. Yeah.
Okay. The cleans?
I thought they'd be though, but but just looking at it, yes.
Okay. And the cleans, no problem, right?
No problem with the cleans. Yeah.
Easy. And then ring muscle ups. How do we feel about those going into it?
They've been a little bit of like a weakness of mine. I've definitely been working on them for a while. But probably if this would have come up last year, I would have been probably very, very nervous to do it. And probably would have like thought I could even make it through the 20 ring muscle ups.
Okay. So when did you perform the workout?
Friday afternoon.
Okay. And strategy going into it, what were you thinking about? Like pacing on the row? Like what was your game plan?
Yeah. My I figured kind of go a little bit conservative on the first row, but don't go too slow. So moderately fast. And then I was like, oh, how about we'll do like 5 sets of 10 toes to bar. I think that sounds great. I got to the toes to bar, did like 2 sets of 10, and I was like, oh, we're gonna take that away.
We overshot that a little bit, yeah.
Overshot a little bit, yeah. Underestimated my grip a little bit.
Okay.
And then same thing with the cleans. I was like, oh, I'll do like some touch and go, maybe like 6 sets of 5 touch and go. was not the case at all.
Mhm.
And then
How soon did you have to revert to singles?
I think
Or
I
did you
started with singles right off the bat.
Oh,
I
good.
got there.
Knowing how you felt, good, at least you didn't waste any
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I think I did a few touch and go in the middle there, but not the
How
whole
did
time.
you tackle the wall balls?
I think I did 20, 13, 7. Wanted to make sure I was like fresh
Okay.
for the cleans and the ring muscle ups. So
Okay, and then ring muscle ups, how'd those go?
not as planned. Plan
Okay.
was going to be like 5 sets of 4, 4 sets of
Mhm.
5. But they were definitely a lot more taxing when I got there. At that point, I started with a set of 4, and then I think I went to like 3. Started doing like 2s, 3s, and then my very last one, was going to do a set of 2 for 19 and 20. And I failed the last one, so then I had to get
Oh,
back up and do it again.
okay,
But I got it. I got it. Then we got back to the room.
awesome.
So
Oh, you did get back to the rower,
yeah,
nice. Okay. You wanna tell us how many calories you got?
I got 23
Good job.
with 54 seconds left.
That's awesome.
I was like, I gotta just gotta go at the end. Push to the
Yeah, yeah,
end.
yeah. Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Do you have so who's your coach right now?
I actually just started with a new coach with Golden Line Training,
Okay.
Greg Strootman. I actually just started with him like this week. So big
Mm,
change here. I didn't really have
girl.
much of a coach before that.
Okay. Do your teammates have all different coaches? Your prospective teammates?
Actually, my 2 teammates, Rachel and Mitch, they both follow Golden Line as well. So they're
Got
both
it.
with Greg
Did
as well.
they just start 2 days ago, or you
No,
came
they've
on
been with him
board?
for a while.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So, wow, that's a big change right now to be
Yes.
doing that.
Yeah. Prior, I was just following Mayhem
Okay,
programming, and I had an Olympic weightlifting coach. But it
okay.
became a lot of volume. And after we got back from Wadapalooza and that middle spot of Green Beret,
Mhm.
I was just feeling like super like tired and fatigued, and I felt like I was doing a little too much volume and needed a little bit more because I was following Mayhem's programming, but then I had a separate weightlifting program, so my deload weeks didn't really line up, and it was um it was just like a little all over the place, and
Yeah.
I needed just like a CrossFit coach was kind of
And
my
Mayhem's kind of a lot of volume. Like, it can be,
it can be
depending
a
on
lot.
what track you're following, but it can be a lot, and you put that on. Were you working with, like, a local, Olympic lifting person?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Is that, something that came very easily to you? I know you have this gymnastics background, so obviously the gymnastics stuff with minus the rings probably comes really easy to you.
Mhm.
Was the weightlifting more of a challenge?
For sure.
Mhm.
Definitely, and it's still definitely, like, my biggest weakness, so that's kind of
Okay.
where I've been focusing is on the heavy strength building and all that stuff, like, if a 1 rep max comes up, that's where I start to hinder a little bit.
Okay. And is there, like, a nutrition component associated sort of with you getting stronger as well?
Yeah, definitely, so that's another thing that, Greg's gonna be helping me with is the nutrition aspect and help me make sure that I get enough to, get a little bit stronger here.
Yeah. Are you hoping to, like, put on muscle?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
that's definitely
What did you think about the announcement with, Haley Adams? Did you hear about this?
I did hear about this, yeah.
Okay. Because she's somebody who, I mean, I don't think she had a gymnastics background, but obviously strength was a big weakness of
Mhm,
hers that sort of everyone knows about and talks about. Um, and I guess she's either currently dealing with or had dealt with in the past an eating disorder
mhm.
from, her background. Uh, Thoughts on that? Just as a female, as a gymnast, where bodies are really important, and I used to be a ballerina, so I know that whole gig.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually myself have struggled with an eating disorder before I found
Yeah.
CrossFit. Through college, it was little bit like just when you get into like that aspect of like that perfection aspect, and when you're like sometimes when you're like a retired athlete and people like expect a lot from you, and I've always
Mhm.
been like that perfectionist mindset as well. So I totally understand where she's coming from, and
Yeah, and
you
it's
know,
hard for you. I know I probably had a similar experience when you're doing something. You're a level 9 gymnast before you go to college, and you're probably training hours and hours a day, and then you go to school, and that sort of falls off, right? And
mhm.
so you naturally gain a little weight because you're eating just as much. Like, you don't necessarily curb your eating habits. At least that was for me. And I find that with a lot of women that happens. And then you get into this thing of like, oh crap, like I don't look the way I used to, but I need to because I have to. And yeah, it can make you a little squirrely for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that actually like CrossFit has done the opposite for me. Like it has helped me learn how to fuel properly and learn that like being strong is like
that's the goal, right?
The goal. Being strong is the goal. It's super cool to be super strong.
Bigger is okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I like thank CrossFit every day for that because that's definitely helped me a lot.
That's refreshing for sure. Do you do any kind of coaching on your own?
Yeah, I coach at Explode. I was coaching this morning, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
What was the workout today?
Today we had an Olympic weightlifting, so just like working on like technique. And then Sundays we do an endurance workout, so it was a lot of just machines, some Cindy thrown in there. Yeah.
Do you enjoy those grindy workouts?
I do.
Yourself?
Yes. That's something that I would like. Everyone tells me I'm crazy, and I'm like, oh, I love the workouts with the burpees and the double unders and the thrusters, and they're like, you're crazy. But,
very cool. Do you guys have a worm?
We do. We did not at the beginning of last year, but we got it once we got our invite to Atlas Games.
Okay, that's going to be important. Have you ever been to MAC?
No, I have not.
Okay, so the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Challenge, before it was a semifinal, it has a long running in the community down in Maryland, and they are famous for their worm stuff for sure.
Really?
And I happen to know that the guy that runs MAC, Wilson Pack, is going to be running that Orlando semifinal. Now he's not going to be doing like the programming and all that, but I would imagine that that will be in your future. So it's good that you guys are prepared for that.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. Okay, so next week I'm going to try to get up there to watch you guys. Do you think you're going to go Friday afternoon again?
Yeah, probably.
This is the open for you, and like we talked a little bit about this with Elena. It's just another workout, right? I mean, you're not. Are you guys sort of like trying to peak for quarters to make sure that you make semis? Is that sort of the mindset?
Yeah, that's the goal. Just train through the open, get through the workouts, have fun with it.
Right.
Because it's everybody at the gym does it. So it's just super cool to have everybody around to do the workout, talk about it with.
Now, when you said Friday afternoon, when you did it last week, was that part of a group doing it, or were you on your own doing it?
A couple of us went in early. Some of us that are like trying to compete went in a little before the classes to get it done. And anyways, and I had to coach in the afternoon anyway. So
got it.
Yeah, made sense.
Did you give yourself any no reps on your workout?
I think Rachel gave me a couple no reps on like a wall ball or two.
Wall balls. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's annoying, but better her to give them to you than you find out later on that someone else behind the camera gave them to you. You're sitting in a chair, counting your reps and slowing down your movement and all that kind of stuff. You didn't wear all black or anything, did you?
No.
Okay, good. Sorry. Perfect. So what are some other things that you might like to see in the open?
Oh, let's see. Talking about this earlier with some people. Always love to see double unders. Some burpees for sure. Maybe some dumbbell movements would be good. Okay. Thinking maybe we'll see like dumbbell thrusters, dumbbell snatches, or something like that.
Have you tried the crossover doubles?
Tried them a couple times after the games last year. I was really whacking myself up. I'm not gonna lie. I had a few marks on myself trying them.
Did you have the correct rope?
That could have been the problem.
So you didn't have a beaded rope?
No, I did not.
Okay. So you have to get a beaded rope. That's the deal. And my prediction is that in semis for team, you guys are going to have to know how to do those.
You think so?
Yeah. Maybe something you might want to work on. Luckily, I have no chance of getting to semifinals, so I don't really need to worry about them. But I think, yeah, if you've got aspirations for that, I mean, don't worry about it for quarters, but I think it's coming for sure. Usually, that stuff that they introduce at the games then sort of slowly makes its way into earlier stages of the competition, and certainly on team versus individual. So
yeah,
something to do. Who's upstaging you right now? What is that? The kitty?
This is actually my roommate's cat, Lil. She's just hanging out for the day.
They always need to be the center of attention, don't they?
Yes. Yeah. She does like to be, for sure.
Is that the only pet you guys have?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, now she's talking.
Yeah, she wants to be on too.
Vocal. Love it.
For sure.
All right. So we're going to continue this series where there's a lot more that I want to ask you, but I want to save it for future episodes just so, we can get to know you a little better and we don't just talk about the workout.
Yeah.
But let's figure out when I can get up there and check out you guys live, either for an open or quarterfinals.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. And with that, we will have a great week. We'll touch base with you again next Sunday.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you, Kat.
All right. Yep.